Welcome back, watch fans, and we're talking about making big money with watches. Big money collecting watches, including Rolex. That's right, even what I would call a basic bitch model like this, which is the Rolex Submariner, the King Tut, although this is the slightly more advanced with the rehaut, no holes case, go through the clasp. And look, here's the thing. The average collector on YouTube, the average person watching these videos on YouTube, the guy who's watching a lot of these channels is a mooch bum. He's a tomato can, he's a crayon eater, he's a window licker. And as a result, they end up they're chasing after trends. They're chasing after trends which, are already, a couple of years in the making, and they always end up overpaying. Why? Because they're getting into a lot of these watches much too late. Don't let that happen to you, my friends. You got to catch these waves early, just like these surfers, right? You want to catch the wave early. You got to be there waiting for the wave. You can't be chasing after that wave, which is what happens with all the tomato can channels that are giving you all this bad advice. I'm talking about, these Archie Luxuries, the Urban Gentry, the Theo and Homo, the Tim Wright, the Prune Face, that guy. The also even worse is the Muppet Boiler Room channels. The Muppet Boiler Room channels, that guy with the Tweety Bird haircut with the butthole eyes. That's right, that's the Muppet Boiler Room channel, and he's there to give you bad information. Why? Well, because he wants to buy low and sell high. How do you think he's able to buy low and sell high? Okay, because he knows the secrets that I'm going to share with you. And if you want to know the secrets, you got to subscribe to my free weekly email newsletter. Okay, when you get the Colonel's weekly email newsletter, you'll have access to information on new trends developing. That's right, there is in fact a new trend that is about to happen with this watch, the King Tut, the Submariner Belusi. Most of you tomato cans don't know about it. Why don't you know about it? Well, because you're not me. Okay, I follow markets. Okay, that is my thing. I am a expert on markets. Okay, watches are an asset class. They are in fact a market, and I need to know what are the factors that are going to create supply and demand imbalances in things like the Rolex Submariner. Now there is actually a geopolitical trend happening in the world today which you need to be aware of. Okay, and that trend is going to crest, okay, like these waves. It's starting to build. It's actually a little bit early. It's kind of like those surfers out there, those surfers, they're waiting, they're a little bit early, all right, but that wave is going to start. See, there you go, that's how the wave starts. Now that wave, I'll give you a little hint. Okay, now you're going to laugh, you're going to think I'm crazy, but that's because you're not me. You're not the Colonel. You're not the Colonel. You're not an expert on watches, an expert on markets. That trend, my friends, is India. That's right, India. What does India have to do with the Rolex Submariner? I'll tell you in a second. But look, when you get my free weekly newsletter, you're going to know what's happening, what are the trends, and most importantly, what are the prices. That's right, the prices that you should be paying. Most of you tomato cans are getting ripped off. You're paying too much, okay? Or even worse, sometimes you might know the right price, or you think you know what the right price, and you guys are very, very, you're all experts on prices, right? I mean, God forbid you're going to overpay. You'll pay $100 too much for a watch, and you know what's going to happen? Because you're focused on price, you're not focused on value. What's going to happen is you're going to miss out. You're going to miss out because there are certain watches that sometimes you have to pay a little bit extra, but you got to know for which watches, right? I have paid at first what I thought was a little bit high for certain watches. You know why? Because there's a limited supply of these, especially vintage or neo-vintage models. It's not like they make thousands of them, right? Like these Submariners, they made like bazillions of these, right? Or especially the black ones, the black dial. But no, sometimes you got to overpay, but you got to know, right? And in my newsletter, I talk about different trends happening in Rolex, in Patek Philippe, in Audemars Piguet, in Richard Mille, in Breguet, that's right, Breguet, in FP Journe, in some of the independents. That is what we discuss each week. Look, you got to know what's happening. You got to know what the savvy collectors are doing, and that's what you're going to get in my free weekly newsletter. So really, you got no excuse not to be subscribed. Look at this. What an amazing, look at these cactus. This is incredible. Look at this. I mean, do you understand? What other channel brings you this type of high quality production values here from the cliffs? That's right, the cliffs, the heights, the pinnacle of Encinitas, California. That's right, Encinitas, California. You know, it's actually quite interesting. I was thinking of, I've been coming here for quite a bit, and I'm thinking, man, I'd like to see what's available. I'd like to get one of these places here. And sure enough, you know, I Google, and I was in shock. The prices the prices are crazy. It's like $2,000 a square foot for to be here. $2,000 a square foot. I mean, I don't know. It's a lot of money in the U.S. I don't know. I mean, maybe in London or Hong Kong or something like that. But look, Manhattan real estate is, $1,000 a square foot. By the way, these buildings are old. All right. Yeah, there could be some issues here, right? Look, in Manhattan, like it's $1,000 a foot, maybe $1,500 a foot for something I don't know, very special. Yeah, it could be a little bit higher sometimes, of course, but you kind of get you get what you pay for. Again, I'm not talking about the beauty or whatever, but just access to opportunity, right? That's kind of, I think, what real estate is based on: access to opportunity. If you can make a lot of money in a certain place, people want to make money, so they all move there. Or San Francisco, same thing, right? But it's quite fascinating, right? $2,000 a square foot. Who would have known, right? Who would have known? But you know what it is, my friends? What happens with watches is the same thing that happens with real estate. And I think I told you an interesting story about the Patek Philippe Beverly Hills. Actually, you know what? I'm going to save that for another video. I don't want to overwhelm you, tomato cans, with too much information, because you're not able to handle it. So I'll leave things very, very simply for you, and I'll see you in the next video. Make sure, again, you get that free newsletter. Click the link in the video description below for the Watch Reporter newsletter.